Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Carpo here. I want to read a paper that I wrote a while back and kind of expresses my feelings on the division among people. And I was inspired by a video by John, and just likewise off of a video that had inspired him that I'd made, and back and forth we go. And this is what makes it so beautiful, and I wish I could just meet all of you in person and have long, drawn-out discussions, but I'm just grateful to at least have this format, the internet, to communicate with. So, here we go. We should all be ashamed of what we have become. I'm talking, of course, about our skewed views on reality and politics. Long ago, I learned of propaganda and how it is used to persuade society to divide ourselves, among very hazy lines. The best way for people in power to hide what they are doing is to put it right out there in the open and take a metaphoric shit on it. Then nobody will touch it. I mean, of course, tainting the subject to the point that nobody who speaks of it will be listened to. They may lose their credentials at best, and at worst be killed off for knowing too much. But this was the old method. This propaganda works another way as well. Over the past 10 to 15 years, with the internet in play, things have taken a turn. As those in power see people waking up every day, they can no longer hide what they do. They have been exposed at every turn and on every level. So, what is the next best thing to secrecy? Well, think about it. They find no need to expose some of the biggest critics to their power. They simply sick us on each other. Why do the work themselves? Like sending kids off to war, they infiltrate the Democrats, Republicans, the Tea Party, even the liberal media, and convince us our neighbors are guilty and wrong for their beliefs. What I am saying is that we lose sight of what's important, that we all live here together. Do you think if the Tea Party movement knew who was really running the show, they would still be there? Hell no, at least not 99% of them. We forget that it is misinformation and disinformation that keeps us at war with one another. With us distracted by minor differences in opinion based on half-truths, they can continue to plunder the world. We are all guilty, but it is not too late to realize it and admit to ourselves we have once again been duped. People speak from their hearts, and you better believe that the powers know this. They plant a seed of doubt among us and confuse the truths, but most of all they keep us busy by screaming at one another. This shit has to stop, and now. It pisses me off that people can be so ignorant to use words like liberal and conservative and think they mean a damn thing. The fact is, 99% of the world just wants to live happily and be treated as they treat others. Right wing, left wing, the same bird. We just find a way to confuse the truth, and it is pathetic. And when most people learn the truth, they would rather ignore the facts than admit they were mistaken. This is a disease of ego, and it makes me sick. I try not to get riled up when I write these things, but the feelings that arise are the same feelings the power used to make us say things that are emotionally driven rather than actually researched. Most people just want a good life, but that's no excuse for ignorance. I've heard so much bullshit about socialism, communism, racism, and more since Obama took office. I heard the same shit with Bush and the same shit with Clinton, all the way back down the line. Wake up, people. You're being played hard. We're being raped with the reality of what is true, for there are far too many issues to deal with. As long as we're fighting, then nothing will change. Learn history and act accordingly. Faceless cowards can post comments and create negative websites, print flyers and articles about how bad the other side is. But anyone who thinks that those in charge are right-wing or left-wing, or even give two shits about voting, they are mistaken. These people have no God, they have no position except money. Money, money, money. And when they have enough, they realize why they wanted all that money. Power. It's not the money. Look at the Koch brothers, multi-billionaires that tried to resegregate schools in South Carolina. All the money in the world, but all they want to do is control and run the show and other people's lives, just like the rest of them. So stop fighting among your neighbors, please. This extends to difference in religion, race, and every other aspect. And this is not just the U.S. Every country has problems. We are all played, and it's not too late to admit it. We need each other now more than ever, and the earth is feeling our growing discontent, and anyone with the sense can see that we are related to the planet, the universe, and one another. When we strike out against another out of egotistical rage, we are striking out against ourselves. We are all one, our true human nature. I love you all, I really do, and I see the potential for goodness in our future, and I really hope that we can pull something off, because it's an amazing life, and at my age, I'm only 37 now, and a lot of people I've noticed get to my age and they start thinking, oh, well, this is what I do, this is who I am, and I'd never think that way. I mean, I don't even consider myself halfway through my life, and there's so much more to learn, so much more to do, and And rather than fearing the future, I've chosen to embrace it and embrace everything that happens. And I've slowly been able to push the fear out of the back of my mind to where I'm just aware. And then when I become aware of something, I think, well, is this worthy of giving credibility to? Should I give credence to this? Should I pay attention? Should I do something about this? And if it's an issue that has no resolution and really has no major bearing on society, then I choose to step away from it. Or likewise, if there's not enough evidence. But that was just some of my thoughts, and I'd already read that paper a while back, but I thought since I had some new subs, I'd reread it. So, peace to everybody, and love thy neighbor as you love yourself, and be within the kingdom of your heart. Namaste.